Yo, what's poppin' everyone? Welcome back to the Shuffle Squad. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be talking about Chien-Pao EX. Now, Chien-Pao EX has recently gained some cool new tools to add to this deck. Earthen Vessel is a really good card to add into this deck, along with Iron Hands. We have opportunities to add different types of energies to this deck now with Earthen Vessel, so that's how we're able to power up Iron Hands. I have recently covered this as a early deck profile, but I'm also going to be covering over gameplay, strategy, and more in this video. If you're looking for my list that's most up to date, be sure to check out the description and copy and paste that right into PTCG Live or wherever else you want to copy and paste it into. If you're looking for any of the cards to play Chien-Pao, be sure to check out our sponsors at decogaming.ca, atlascollectibles.com, and PTCGLstore.com. They all have discounts available in the description, and that would be a really great place to support the Shuffle Squad and pick up some cards while you're at it. While you're out there, like this video, subscribe, let me know in the comments what you think about Chien-Pao, and let's jump into this deck list. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. So here we have it, Chien-Pao with Iron Hands. Now, the whole strategy of this deck is for us to accelerate energies with Baxcalibur onto our whatever Pokemon we want to attack with. Our three main culprits are going to be Chien-Pao EX, Iron Hands EX, and Radiant Greninja. Chien-Pao allows us to basically knock out whatever we want with Hail Blade, choose whatever energies you want from play, and knock them out. You can't discard lightning energies this way, but you can discard water energies, and I mean, 6 energies knocks out pretty much anything in the game if you're facing a Charizard EX or anything that has a lot of HP. A lot of the times you're going to be knocking out Pokemon for 4 or 5 energies if you want to knock out a Roaring Moon or something like that. We have Bibarel to draw cards, which is sweet. Manaphy protects our bench from getting sniped from something like Radiant Greninja. Iron Hands is a really interesting choice when it comes down to attacking, because if you're able to knock out your opponent's active Pokemon with Amp You very much, you're able to, and that does 120 for lightning and 3 colorless. We can definitely draw an extra prize card with that attack. That's how it works. Radiant Greninja, you can snipe a couple Pokemon doing 90 and 90, so we have a lot of options here. And our goal is just Rare Candy Baxcalibur. A lot of our supporters are aimed at getting this combo off. A lot of our items are aimed at getting towards our energy back. And majority of our deck is just really trying to rip energies into play. This deck might be a little bit high roll or sometimes inconsistent, but when it works, this deck is nearly unstoppable. And that's really what I want to show you in today's gameplay video. I feel like I get really unlucky with Chien-Pao every time I showcase what is going on, but we'll try our best to showcase a really good Chien-Pao game. Please, PTCG Live ladder gods, bless us, bless us. But yeah, let's jump to some gameplay. Again, the list is available in the description if you want to copy and paste it right into live. Okay, so our opponent's calling a coin flip, and I do want to note that this is one of the decks that always wants to go first. I haven't found a reason to go second with this deck. If we go first, we're able to evolve before anything else happens. We want to get Frigibax out so that we can Rare Candy into Baxcalibur the next turn. So, flipping the coin, we want to go first. Hopefully we can rip a Battle VIP Pass in our opening hand. We'll see how that ends up going. You want to know what? I don't think I could have asked for a better hand. Part of me does not want to start with Chien-Pao in case our opponent can turn 1 knock us out with what seems like Roaring Moon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here with, I think what I have to do is start with Frigibax. I think I have to start with Frigibax. And yeah, so let's see what we got flipped over here. Our opponent looks like they are playing some kind of Roaring Moon deck. There's another Bibarel. So what I'm going to have to do is go for Battle VIP Pass. I'm going to have to go for another Frigibax. And considering our opponent does have the opportunity, these Roaring Moon decks play Radiant Greninja, and they also play water energies. We can't take a risk of them not turn 1 Radiant Greninja-ing us. So we're going to have to put a Manaphy down. Otherwise, I would have liked to put a Bidoof down. because we do have the Bibarels, but there's really not much else we can do. You might be like, yo, Zach, why did you not start with Chien-Pao? And Chien-Pao is the ideal starter if we had an opportunity to, and I'd even like to put it on my bench if I had a choice, but there's a chance they Cross Switcher knock it out with a Roaring Moon. And if they don't do it, that's fine. I still made a better decision that's probably going to put us in a better position to win this game. So let's go ahead here, and we're going to pass our turn. If you only have single prize card Pokemon in play, there's a really good chance that your opponent cannot take advantage of you having a 2-prizer. They also play PokéStop, which is quite helpful for us, and you can see there's their Cross Switcher, there's their Battle VIP Pass. Like, they're well on their way to having the cards necessary to make this happen. We just really need to hope that our opponent does not isolate the Bidoof and knock out the Bidoof going first. So it's going to change for every single matchup on how aggressive they might want to take it, but you can see their deck is going to set up very quickly, and we're going to play our best towards this one. If we don't win this game, I found Roaring Moon to be a pretty close matchup, but I've had a pretty high success rate as a Roaring Moon player against other Chien-Pao decks. So we'll see whatever's going on here. Okay, it looks like this ain't too bad, to be honest. They didn't really get a lot of energies or any at all. I do like the Galarian Moltres in their deck, though. I think that's kind of hot. So, there's the Forest Seal Stone. Cool. There's the Earthen Vessel. It does give them a good target to also search for whatever they want. So you can see that they're likely going to be able to attack turn 1, maybe even with more Peko. Against the Frigibax. That'd be really good on their behalf if they could do that. They are having a really good game so far. But there's only the 1 energy. I don't know if I would have done the Sada there for 1 energy, especially when you have the Galarian Moltres V. If it works out that we didn't have like the greatest turn, yeah, there's their energy switch, and then they're going to attack more Peko, moving it back to one of the Roaring Moons. Seems like the correct choice. One thing that I am going to try to do in this match is knock out a Squawkabilly for 3 prize cards. So even if I just knock out this more Peko, I'm okay with that. I am going to send up a Pokemon that probably something like the Manaphy, because its retreat cost is going to remain the same. If I evolve the Frigibax or anything else like that, it might end up being tough for us. There's a Water Energy, that's fine. I'm going to go Bibarel goes here. I'm going to go Chien-Pao goes here. And I'm going to go Water Energy goes here. The rest of my hand, I think I'm just going to play an Iono. Not because I'm trying to disrupt our opponent, but we do need to get some other pieces in order to make this combo happen this turn. Those weren't really the pieces we were looking for. So let's see what else we can do maybe. Let's go Nest Ball. We probably need another Frigibax. And we probably have Frigibax prize. Let's use Radiant Greninja here. I think what I'm going to have to do is retreat, use my Shivery Chill, clear some cards out of the deck, because there's a good chance that we might be able to still get it this turn. So let's use Shivery Chill. Grabbing Water. Let's use Concealed Cards next. The reason why we want to use Concealed Cards is so we can clear out, we have a higher chance of drawing into non-item cards, so we can have a higher chance of hitting the Pokéstop. If we can get a rare candy, that'd be really sweet. I am going to go Earthen Vessel. I am okay if we can pitch some other cards if we do end up getting the knockouts. I'm just going to grab... I probably don't need the lightnings right now, so I'm just going to grab the waters. And if we can get rare candy, that'd be sick. Okay, we didn't get it. That's quite unfortunate. So I think, like, this is, like, where the deck can just, like, completely crumble. We're just gonna have to face a Chien-Pao getting knocked out. So let's go Nest Ball here, and I think what we're gonna have to do is go Iron Hands. Yeah. So it's unfortunate that we're not able to use Bibarel, and we haven't had like a lot of opportunities. I mean, I think we grabbed just the Nest Ball. We're gonna grab Iron Hands because I think there's a good chance that we might be able to knock out the Squawkabilly next turn, or maybe even knocking out a Roaring Moon. Let's go ahead and pass our turn. So I have an okay idea on how we're able to win this game. It depends on if our opponent plays Ancient Energy Booster Capsule or not. And actually, I think we could win the game no matter what. We still win the game in 2 attacks. And I don't want to ruin the surprise, but if you have any ideas on how you think I can win this game in 2 turns, let me know. Because I think there's a chance. It just depends on how my opponent reacts and how they play out these situations. But so far, everything's like going okay. If our opponent does knock out the Frigibax, by the way, that'd be really terrible for us. And it probably would spell game over. If they don't knock out Frigibax this turn, then we're still in okay spots. So with our opponent already down boss and down a Cross Switcher, I just have to hope that they don't have 2 Cross Switchers in their hands. There's a Dark Energy. Please, 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 please. Fingers crossed. If they knock out the Frigibax, I'm just going to concede here. And it looks like they're not knocking out Frigibax, so that's completely fine. Again, I'm going to have to send up something like Manaphy, but we'll see how that goes. We're actually not even going to use Chien-Pao at all, which is so funny in this game. A Chien-Pao deck that's not going to use Chien-Pao. Let's go. Manaphy goes here. The Ultra Ball is something that we do not need. We might need it later on. But let's go for Irida for a Rare Candy for sure. And do we grab the Chien-Pao? I think we don't even... Okay, so if we go Rare Candy, I'm just trying to think about the other cards that we have in our hand. We have the Superior Energy Retrievals that can get us some other cards too. I think I'm actually fine to grab the Baxcalibur to discard the Baxcalibur from my hands. So before we do anything else, I do want to go Rare Candy into Baxcalibur. We still have opportunities to clear from our hands, so let's go ahead and use concealed cards. There's another Rare Candy, there's another PokéStop. Let's go ahead here and start getting things lined up. Let's go Superior Energy Retrieval. I don't need Baxcalibur, and I don't need this other Rare Candy. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's get a bunch of energies into play. And let's go for Super Colds. 1 energy, 2 energy, 3 energy, 4 energy, 5 energy. Let's put PokéStop out into play because that's another card that we could waste from our hands. And I actually don't think that we need the other Superior Energy Retrieval. We just want to thin through whatever we have going on here. So let's go through and discard those 2 cards. It might seem counterproductive, but again, I have a plan. If there's anything else that we want to grab, we still have Hisuian Heavy Ball, so we could get a prize thing. We have Super Rod, so I do want to leave the bench space open for another Frigibax. Actually, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm just gonna... I can't put Chien-Pao down is the only thing. Maybe I just grab Bidoof. Yeah, let's go grab Bidoof. We're just trying to thin our deck as much as possible because if we miss this turn, we need a Cross Switcher and we need a Lightning Energy out of our deck. And part of me is just like... It makes sense to use Industrial and Scissors first. Got the Lightning Energy, we got the Cross Switcher. I don't even think I want to use PokéStop right now, to be honest. I don't even know what else I would grab off that. So let's do this. Let's go Cross Switcher. And let's go bring up the Squawkabilly. So this will draw half of our prize cards. And we're going to use Ampy very much to draw 4 prize cards. Or 3 prize cards, sorry. So this is step 1, and that allows us... That's half the game right there. It depends on how our opponent reacts to this situation. If they knock out something like they basically have to deal with the Iron Hands, or typically they deal with the Iron Hands, because if they don't deal with Iron Hands this turn, like let's say if they don't score the knockout and they go for Calamity Storm, then they put themselves in a position where I can attack with Iron Hands again, and maybe that allows me to draw another few prize cards, or I use Radiant Greninja, and I set the game up where I basically can win the game. So now they go after the Radiant Greninja. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that they wouldn't go after Radiant Greninja, because I was hoping that they use Frenzied Gouging, put 200 damage on themselves. But now they've used all their Cross Switchers and all their boss. So if I attack with a single prize card Pokemon this next turn, then we're maybe okay, actually. So maybe we could get Super Rod and get back our Radiant Greninja and just attack with it again. Which would actually leave things to be quite interesting for us. So let's go for that play, because I'm assuming that our opponent, if they don't have a PAL pad, that they have access to no more Cross Switchers, because they've already used 3, and our opponent's already used a boss. And that's typically what they play when it comes down to this deck. I'm also fine with Iono because we have Bibarel and we have Bidoof there as well. But I need to essentially draw a prize card without using Baxcalibur and without using Iron Hands. This is weak to grass, not lightning. I just had to double check that. Let's send up Manaphy. So again, we need to attack with a single prize card Pokemon that's not Baxcalibur. These were some pretty rough cards for us to draw. We could potentially attack into the Roaring Moon, but I think they could just retreat and take the attack. We could draw... Okay, let's go Cross Switcher. How many Superior Energy Retrievals have we used? We've used 2 of them. Yeah, let's start off with using Cross Switcher, and we're going to bring up a single prize card Pokemon that we can knock out. Maybe we can get the attack with Bibarel and get Tail Smash. So let's bring up more Peko, and we're going to bring up... I don't want to bring up Bidoof, but it might make the most sense. Let's go ahead and use Industrial and Scissors, see what we're able to get. Irida does put us in a position where we might be able to get something. I think what we might have to do is grab an Ultra Ball and grab something like Frigibax. At least at that point, we could attack with the Baxcalibur. If we do put a Frigibax into play, which could actually be kind of good. So let's go ahead and do this. Because I'm not going to, like... Maybe if I grab Frigibax, and if I grab Superior Energy Retrieval, that might be better. Yeah, we're going to definitely go for that play, because that play guarantees that I take a knockout. So let's go ahead and use Superior Energy Retrieval. And again, I'm not worried about however it works out. We've already used our Cross Switcher, we don't play a boss. So Chien-Pao is actually kind of good here. Let's discard Irida. Let's discard Battle VIP Pass. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's put the Frigibax into play. And let's go ahead and use Super Colds. Going this 1, 2, 3. Now we can go ahead and retreat here and attack with our Baxcalibur. Putting a single prize card Pokemon up active so that our opponent does not knock out our a 2-prizer. And if they attack the Iron Hands, if they somehow get PAL Pad boss, sure, they win the game. We're not in a great spot, though. I do want to put that out there. But we'll see. They might not even be able to get the knockout here, because they need to have a PokéStop in play, and they've already burned through 2 of them. So we'll see how exactly it plays out. Like, our opponent could also go PAL Pad Lumineon. There's Mew. There's their PokéStop. So our opponent, like, again, I don't think we're in a great spot. I don't think we're in the worst spot of all time either. So we're going to send up this because this Pokemon's actually just not going to even be able to attack. Otherwise, we would just lose the game because we don't have any Cross Switchers or anything else like that. See what we get. The Irida is actually super helpful for us. What we want to grab here is actually just... I know we don't have the superior energy retrieval, but I do know we have Super Rod. So I am going to go ahead and grab Super Rod. Super Rod allows us to retreat here into Chien-Pao, use Super Rod to get back some of these energies. So let's go 1, 2, 3. We only need 4 energies to win the game. There's a pretty good chance if we draw into some other ones, but we're going to have to go for Shivery Chill first, because we need to draw into our other Super Rod. We need to draw on some stuff here, okay? So we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and go for... oh, you want to know what our backs is also gone, so we need to find... Never mind. I'm definitely just screwing up here. We definitely need to get back a Baxcalibur to try to draw into it. So we didn't get there. I totally fumbled that at the end. And it shows that there's a lot of moving pieces here. I think it's actually funny. We will jump into another game. But you can see how, like, the line is fickle here. And I mean, I had everything solved and I'm like, I don't have a Baxcalibur. So, that's cool. So we could have got back a Baxcalibur. I don't know if we would have drawn into it. If we didn't draw into Baxcalibur, that's really where it's tough. The deck playing only 2 Baxcalibur and having both in a discard pile is quite tough. But we do play 4 Ultra Balls to get around that. So, well played to our opponent. We're going to end the turn just so that they can get it. Unfortunately, we had some weird draws that really prevented us, and we did have to attack with that Baxcalibur. So it shows that there's a lot of planning when it comes to this deck, and we were really close. Our opponent did play around things super well, so shout out to them for playing with Roaring Moon. We brought it as close as we possibly could. Besides that mistake at the end, if there's anything else you notice, let me know, but I thought that was really cool. Let's jump into another game. Okay, we're going to call Tails here, and hopefully we're able to win the coin flip. We did get Tails, let's go. We really need to pray for Frigibax on our first turn so we can evolve them into something else. I think that's really what we're looking for here. Iron Hands, not the greatest starts. Also not the worst starts. I do want to point that out there. So maybe we'll be able to get something. We can't play Irida turn 1, but we do get Ultra Ball, which at the very least can get us get us a Frigibax. So we will we'll see how that plays out. And our opponent flips over Rad Ninja. And we got Chien-Pao. Okay, so what I think we're gonna have to do here is go Ultra Ball away. I think we're gonna have to go water. Probably makes the most sense. Search our deck for a simple Frigibax. Now, I don't know if there's anything that matters between the 60 or the 70 HP. Probably want to use the 60 HP one earlier if possible, to keep the 71 in case they're playing something like Sableye. We're going to go like this, and I don't even know if I want to attach the energy because we can always attach all of our energies in a single turn. I want to keep more cards in my hand in case they get an Ultra Ball or something like that. So we're going to go ahead here and pass our turn. Not the greatest turn, but we are pretty close to getting it. It depends on what we top deck. Like, we can go Rare Candy Baxcalibur. Certainly an opportunity. The Metal Energy is interesting. Okay, so we're playing against Goldango. Maybe we can get something with Rad Ninja or something else like that. The Artisan allows us at least to get out another Frigibax. Okay, never mind. Goodbye, Worker. Really, we would have liked to see a Battle VIP Pass on our first turn. We might have to, like, if we get like a Baxcalibur, I think we're looking for a Baxcalibur, a Nest Ball. Like, we want to have cards that allow us to draw cards. If we get Cross Switcher, I think Cross Switcher is a Cross Switcher, a Rare Candy, a Baxcalibur. There's a handful of cards that allow us to, like, do something on our first turn. 2 Water Energies. Like, we're still, like, a little bit, like, far off. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I think we really need a Cross Switcher play to knock things out. But at least we're playing against Gholdengo, which is a pretty cool new deck. So we got Chien-Pao, which were none of the cards that we were looking for. So something that we could do here is we could just go Rare Candy, Baxcalibur. I don't even know if that's going to be a possibility. I think what we want to be using is Radiant Greninja and grabbing a Cross Switcher so we have some opportunities to draw some cards. It really sucks. I don't want to put ourselves in a position where we have 1 Frigibax. But if they just knock out Baxcalibur next turn, what good did it ever do us? So I think I want to go for Cross Switcher Rad Ninja. Because at least in this case, we can go Chien-Pao goes down. We'll Cross Switcher up something that they have. I don't even know what I'd want to Cross Switcher up. Maybe not a Gholdengo, maybe a Rad Ninja. Maybe their Varoom, in case they accidentally evolve it. I think that might be the best case. We'll send this up. We're going to use Shivery Chill, grabbing a couple of our Water Energies out. So, not really the turn that we were anticipating, but you can't always just, like, play blindly into the narrative of the deck. You got to play towards the situation as well. So even if this deck profile or gameplay doesn't, like, do everything that we want it to, that's fine. I'm going to actually discard the Lightning Energy. You can discard Lightning Energy with Rad Ninja, just in case. At least we're getting closer to some kind of picture when it comes to this deck. Like, I'm also just going to send up Chien-Pao, put down another Chien-Pao, in case they use any kind of whatever. But I want to be able to knock out some things. So we're going to touch a Water Energy here, so at least maybe next turn we might be able to attack, and I'm going to pass my turn. Again, pretty rough draws, and this is where you're going to have with Chien-Pao backs, where you're like, cool, I didn't necessarily get what I wanted to deal with. And you're going to have to deal with that. That's part of, like, the pressure of playing a deck like this. You got to remain calm, cool, collective, and maybe run a little bit hot. I need to hope that our opponent does not get turn 2 Gholdengo knocking out our Chien-Pao for 5 energies. I also need to hope that our opponent just doesn't knock out Frigibax for 2 energies. If they knock out Frigibax, we're just in a very poor position. But they did attach for their turn, so maybe they're just going to retreat into Mew. And I don't even think they have a way to accelerate much beyond this. That's completely fine, because if you read how Chien-Pao works, Hailblade, you can discard Water Energy from any of your Pokemon in play. So this is completely fine if you ask me. We're actually getting closer to a win con with this, and maybe we'll be able to draw a prize card or something like that. There's a Bidoof, so we're getting close. I am going to use Shivery Chill here, grabbing a couple Water Energies out of the deck. Again, thinning it. We only have 1 water left, so our deck is pretty close to having some good cards in it, finally. Let's discard, and we grabbed an Irida. Or not an Irida, an Iono. So the Iono is interesting, and there's a couple things that we can do here. I'm actually, like, kind of worried that we're not going to be able to, like, I want to get Bidoof out, but we need to get another Frigibax out, because if we don't have 2 Frigibax out, we could just lose the game. So that's really something to consider. Our opponent's likely not going to be doing any sniping, so let's use the other Frigibax because it has 1 retreat cost instead of 2. I'm going to go ahead here, attach a Water Energy here. And I'm just going to go ahead. Is there anything I want to use? Super Rod. We have some energies on our Scar PAL, but we'll see what we can get here with Iono. I'm hoping that we can get out a Rare Candy Baxcalibur. That looks like a Rare Candy Baxcalibur if I ever saw one. So what we're going to have to do here first is actually go... Superior Energy Retrieval, discarding Battle VIP Pass and an Ultra Ball. We're going to have to grab back all of our energies. And then we're going to have to go Ultra Ball, discarding 2 of our water energies. If we discard 2 of our water energies, that puts us at 3. So we're not going to be able to attack with Iron Hands this turn, but we are going to be able to attack with, we are going to be able to draw a prize card, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if we want to draw a prize card. If I discard Lightning, Water, I think what we're going to have to do here is go Ultra Ball, discard Lightning, Water. We're still going to have to retreat, though. That's the biggest issue. Okay. So at least gets us out of Baxcalibur. Now, there's a few things that we can do. We could attack. We could decide not to attack. I'm not going to get out, I'm not going to attack with Baxcalibur this turn. Our opponent might actually, we're 1 energy off from being able to, we have to at least attach an energy here. I would have loved to use Radiant Greninja and just wipe out 2 Gimmigholes. That's really something that we're looking for. I think what we're going to have to do is just take, we want to keep energies in our hands so we have access to use concealed cards next turn. And what I think I'm going to do is just discard 1 energy from my benched Chien-Pao. Or actually, I'm going to discard 1 off the active. I think that makes the most sense. And I'm only going to attach the 1 energy. So no Iron Hands this turn, no Radiant Greninja. So it sucks when you're attacking against a single prize card Pokemon and you're not able to get the knockouts. Or you're not able to get 2 prize cards off of it. Obviously, that's how single prize card Pokemon work. This deck has both Radiant Greninja to draw 2 prize cards, as long as there's not a Manaphy in play. So essentially sniping 2 Pokemon with 90 HP or less. Or we have Iron Hands, amp you very much to do 120 and take an extra prize card. So those would have been more ideal plays had we had the opportunity to use them. It's not always going to work out like that. And that's okay. So if our opponent knocks out the Chien-Pao, that's fine. We're just going to try to respond with Radiant Greninja. Or we're going to respond with Chien-Pao. We're not going to be able to just knock out our opponent's Pokemon or anything else like that. We'll see how it goes. Our setup here is not fantastic because we do not have a Bibarel. We were forced to put out, starting with the Iron Hands, put us in a position where we had to put down Chien-Pao. We had to put down another Chien-Pao because we were anticipating a knockout. So we played to our absolute best outs, and that's cool. We played the best we possibly could. But we're still in this race, kind of. It's just we're not in a position to draw extra cards with Iron Hands. And our opponent, unless they miss a knockout at some point, we're not winning. I don't know if we're winning this game. We might come a little bit short. And that's cool. Again, I'm happy if I just showed how this deck struggles to set up sometimes and how to maybe play out of it. And sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not going to work. But the list is absolute fire. I think when it works. I hope y'all understand that. Pokemon decks do not work 100% of the time. That's why some of the best players in the game lose. I think what we need to do here is send up... So if we send up the Rad Ninja, we put ourselves in a position, at least if we get an energy here, we have a higher chance of getting it, and we have the 1 retreat cost anyways. We can't draw into that 1 energy anyway, so it doesn't change anything for us. So let's send up the Chien-Pao. That's our best option. And that's Super Rod. So that gets us 2 energies, actually. So if we go Super Rod and get back 2 energies, we can actually attack with Rad Ninja this turn. And maybe draw into something. But we have to use concealed cards either way. So what I want to use is actually, if I use concealed cards, we might actually miss it. It's actually so frustrating. We need to get set up. So the thing is, we're going to have to go Shivery Chill first. We might actually miss this. But it gives us our best chance of maybe winning this game. So let's go ahead and use concealed cards first, because if we grab anything that allows us to get back energies, then we can potentially do something. The Super Rods aren't going to matter as much. We have 5 energies in our discard pile. So let's just go for Superior Energy Retrieval, discarding Battle VIP Pass and a Water, I guess. Maybe we want to discard a Super Rod because we want to have as many waters as possible. And we're going to grab our waters back. We're not attacking with Iron Hands yet. There's not much that we can do. Let's go ahead and go Super Cold. Attach there, attach there. There's no Manaphy in sight, so I just want to make sure. Done. And then we're just going to retreat this Pokemon. And I'm going to go ahead and use Moonlight Shuriken, knocking out Gimmighoul. So their low HP Pokemon are back to hurting them. We are, like, jumping one prize card ahead of our opponent. If our opponent knocks out a singular prize card, like, if our opponent knocks out our Radiant Greninja, I think we actually can win this game. If our opponent knocks out a Chien-Pao or an Iron Hands this turn, they do put themselves back on pace. It would suck if they knocked out Baxcalibur, though. Okay, there's their Iron Hands. Again, we just have to kind of force their position again and hope that they do not have another boss just naturally chilling in their hands. And we need to hope that they miss something at some point. I don't know why they went with Iron Hands over Chien-Pao. I think Chien-Pao is significantly better for us to have. So I think that's probably a bit of an oversight from our opponents. But that's fine. We will be able to use at least Rad Ninja to knock out Gimmighoul if they don't evolve. So they should definitely try to evolve this Gimmighoul. Otherwise, we just force our opponent the same turn that they just played. Okay, so they are going to evolve. They should not bench anything else here that we could potentially knock out. And there's their Make It Rain. So at least we have the Rad Ninja, and we're gonna send up Rad Ninja here again. If we attack with Chien-Pao, I'm just trying to think about like what our options are. I think our option is to attack with Baxcalibur against Radiant Greninja. Trust me, I don't want to make that play either. We've already used 2 Cross Switchers, so that's our only other Cross Switcher play. We don't have any other way to like naturally get that. So there's a couple things that we can do. I think what we start off with is just using concealed cards. So we're not going to be able to go Cross Switcher because we only got 1. If we attack for 140 into the active, or 130 into the active, Ampy very much does, because we could draw 3 prize cards maybe, it does 120. So that's not enough. We'd have to do 140 damage to the active, so that's quite unfortunate. We will play the Irida because there's no reason not to. When it comes to grabbing the Irida, I think our best bets would be to maybe just grab trying to think here. I don't think that there's a way for us to get this game. I mean, we might as well grab another Pokemon, so I'm just gonna grab a Baxcalibur. We're gonna grab into a I think what we do here is we only have one hope of trying to get there, and let's just go ahead and grab this. I'm just going to go retreat, and we're just going to try to pummel it. If they have it, they have it. They win the game. We don't need another Chien-Pao because if they knock out our Chien-Pao, we lose the game. Sometimes you got to take some risk. I'm pretty sure we're about to lose here, but we do have enough energies to make this happen. I don't even know if we need that. Like, we could have grabbed another Bibarel. So that might be something that we could have like had happen to us. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 6 is 300. I think what we're actually forced to do here, regardless, let's just see if we get it through the turn or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if they knock out Baxcalibur, you want to know what, they're either knocking out something or they're not. So I'm going to try to avoid where my mistake was. We're going to grab the Bidoof, and hopefully we could draw into the Bibarel next turn. We will need that to probably win the game, so let's go Hail Blade. We're going to discard all 5, and if we lose, we lose. If our opponent knocks out our thing, we brought it down to 1 prize. Like, unfortunately, we couldn't do much else when it came down to it. If our opponent just sends up Goldango, they don't need too much. They need a Superior Energy Retrieval. So I think if they get a Superior Energy Retrieval and an Energy, then they're all good. There's their coin bonus. Maybe we got some hope there with them using coin bonus. Maybe they're going to try to go for as many energies as possible. Arven, to me, seems like they're going to be able to grab whatever they need. So there's a Superior Energy Retrieval. I'm assuming in that 12-card hand that they probably have at least 1 other energy. So sometimes Chien-Pao is just not going to get you there, and that's fine. There's their energy, and let's go for Make It Rain. I guess I need 1 more energy after that too. Or actually, we're weak to metal, Lamau. That's so funny. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It's a tough one. I'm sitting here being like, oh, we might have a chance. No, we are weak to metal. So good to our opponent. It was close. We tried our best. Well, that's what we got going on for Chien-Pao EX. I feel like I'm cursed every single time that I put this deck video up. I feel like I'm not necessarily getting the gameplay that I usually get when it comes to playing this deck. And sometimes it's going to be live, sometimes it's going to be me. I mean, we saw that one little mistake, or big mistake with the Baxcalibur Game 1. The gameplay on my side could have been a little bit tighter. I think that a lot of it was insightful and good. Sometimes when you're creating these videos, I don't want to make excuses or nothing, but there's a difference between playing Pokemon at a high level and making content. And that's not to say that I'm not trying to play Pokemon at the highest level right now when it comes to making these contents. I think I'm overthinking things in the event of while I'm still trying to create some things. So if that makes any sense to you, I hope it does. That's sick. If it doesn't, I mean, I hope that you enjoyed this content. If you're a Zacklessage fan, I'm sure you understand. If you hate me, I'm sure you're pretty happy to watch me lose twice, and I'm appreciative of you watching this video for like 40 minutes. So shout out to the algorithm. That being said, I hope that you all enjoyed Chien-Pao. I do think this list is worth a test regardless of how this video turned out. I think that this deck is fantastic, and we did have 2 really good games. And good games don't always mean that you win. And it's something to really like take under your chest and stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoyed watching. I know I said that probably like 1,000 times. If you need any cards for these decks, check out our sponsors at deckoutgaming.ca, atlascollectibles.com, and PTCGLstore.com. Be sure to pick up cards there, support the Shuffle Squad. If you want to get more great content from the Shuffle Squad, we do have our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/TSSWin. Gain access to exclusive articles from the squad and access to all of our deck lists all the time. Yeah, that's what we got going on for today. Right now, I'm currently in Brazil, as long as this video goes up properly. So I hope that you enjoy it. Hopefully we get a chance to see me seeing some success. And if you're going to LAIC, or if you live there or anything else like that, or if you're playing any tournaments, best of luck. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and have a great one. Hey trainers, tired of having too many cards lying around? I know that feeling, and I know what a hassle it is to try and sell those cards. But selling bulk is now easier than ever with TCG Bulk. Find tons of potential buyers in a single place. You just download the app, look for the best buyer near you, and carefully pack your bulk, ship it, and you get paid. It really is that simple. Turn the cards you don't want into the cards you absolutely need for your next deck. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.